Hi, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for October 2023. This is going to be for Aquarius Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you are intuitively guided. Excuse me. And I want to thank you for paying attention. Well, I feel like your spirit guides want to thank you for paying attention to your intuition because these are really intuitive reads. You could certainly have planets in the sign of Aquarius, or you may be in love with an Aquarius. My brother who has crossed over was January 24th. I'm trying to think. I know Sam's son has his moon in Aquarius. My daughter has her moon in Aquarius. She's Scorpio sun. So, a lot of Aquarius love. Um, we're going to go ahead and get in the reading, but I do want to bring up program to see. There we go. All right, this is just a lighting program. What am I saying? An app that hopefully keeps the light right on the cards. All right, we're going to use three different decks, guys. We're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. We are going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify. Put those over there. And your main spread is going to be the Psychic Tarot. I love the Psychic Tarot for you. So we'll use that for your main spread. But let's go ahead and start with Mother Mary and get our words of wisdom. While I'm shuffling, everything's pre-shuffled, by the way, but I do like to shuffle with you here. But while I am shuffling, I do want to let you know, because so many of you have come through for me. My old computer crashed, and I was devastated because I didn't have the money to buy a new computer. And many of you donated to gave me the ability to purchase this computer, which I'm still learning, but I have so much gratitude for each and every one of you. What I decided to do is invite you into my members only live readings. So we go live. I try to do it once a week where the members come on and they can really ask me anything, and it's very, I don't know, I just love it. I feel like the messages are very clear. But I decided this week that I'm going to invite everyone, all the subscribers, to. So if you haven't subscribed and you're interested in that, you definitely want to subscribe. But also make sure you hit the bell because, excuse me, the notifications. Well, you'll only receive the notifications if you hit the bell, because there is a link that you'll have to click on. And yeah, so I'm inviting you all in and that way you get to see what we do on our lives too. I just love my members. I love you all, but it's intimate, and I don't know. I just get to know everyone on such a deep soul level. So this week, you're all invited. I'm going to do it on Wednesday. I haven't really picked a time yet. I'm going to do it either late afternoon, early evening. And what I'm going to do is, I did put a post out. Maybe I'll do another post. And I'm just asking everyone what's the best time for them, for you. And then we're going to go with the majority. It's the only way to do it. The majority rules. So I just wanted to get that out there. And that is my thank you to you, not just for those who donate, but also for many have sent me um, so much love through your comments, and that it just totally blew me away. Sometimes you feel, you know, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say sometimes you wonder if it's even helping, being on YouTube, but now I know. And, I always felt your love. So thank you. All right, let's get into your reading, Aquarius. October for Aquarius. What say you, Mother Mary? Oh, let me make sure my volume's up the whole way. Okay, good. we have sobriety. Sobriety. My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. Sobriety. Some of you, it can talk about like a substance that maybe you've been relying on to help you get through a situation. And I feel like, really this card talks about, we're going to read it from the book at the end of the reading, but I do feel like a lot of times it doesn't always have to be like I'm addicted to a substance. Some may be. Um, I know some have, you've been clean for a while, and I'm just so proud of you. Um, yeah, and I feel like, a clear mind is easily able to really see the signs from your spirit guides. Remember, your spirit guides were assigned to you before you even came into into this lifetime. And as our loved ones cross over, many of them step forward and become our spirit guides. I know I have a lot of my family that I see it in the readings all the time. I don't always say it, but I feel them and I see it all the time. So my brother Mike may be in this reading. All right, let's go ahead and start your main spread. And again, we're going to use the Psychic Tarot. I can't get the song out of my mind. When the moon, as or the sun, is in the seventh house, and Jupiter. All right, I won't keep singing. All right, let's open up the reading. Okay, we start with the universe. This is the world. This talks about a new chapter opening up. I feel like the world is our most spiritual time. So I feel like for those who are like getting more and more into your spiritual selves, that's what it's talking about. We have, well, hello, material harvest. This is the Nine of Pentacles. Some of you have been working hard and you may start seeing the fruits of your labor. This is really an independent type energy. It's card of Virgo, by the way. I like how this person's hands are out on my screen. I don't know why my screen keeps going dark on me. But anyways, material harvest. This is a magic. This is someone who has put in the work. Maybe you're not. It's like, when am I going to start seeing the fruits of my labor? Well, with the universe opening up your reading, I feel like soon. And then look at this, rejoice in celebration. Now, I do have to tie this back to sobriety. For some of you, if you're dealing with something hard, maybe you do, turn to alcohol and that to try to help you through. I guess it's okay if if I'm not relying on it. But other than that, it's rejoicing and celebration. I feel like in the Nine of Pentacles, many times it talks about self-employment. I mean, that's what the meaning of the card, successful self-employment. So some of you, you may have suffered like some type of tower energy beforehand, and the world is saying, but we're going to open up this next chapter for you. If you're willing to put in the work, I feel like the harvest will be yours. But this feels like with rejoice and celebration and material harvest, it feels like, you're already on your way to that. So we're going to accept that. Let's keep going. Look at this, recognition and reward. 2 threes back to back, 33. And, when I see that, I often think of a life path 33 and master number 33. And remember, if you have a master life path, you're here to master something. And it may be in your pentacles. It may be in your spirituality. It may be both. Recognition and reward to me means other people are paying attention to what it is you're doing. And, you know, if you look at this, the spotlight is right on this person, but this person seems very humble. As in the Nine of Pentacles, same thing. It's like I'm open to whatever the universe, whichever direction the universe wants me to take. Your spirit guides. We have firm foundation. That is the Four of Pentacles. I feel like that's good news coming under the world's energy because again, that next portal's opening up, and I feel like what it's saying for many of you, first of all, you know, being recognized for the work that you've done, being rewarded. I feel like how? Well, it feels like in your pentacles, or for some of you, it's like, you know, it's you receiving your platform. It's you being confident in your own platform, whatever it is you may do. This person's very bountiful. They have all that they need. But this can be, again, something new. However, in the same breath, I feel like what it's doing, it is firming up your foundation. And we need to think about that because when our foundation's not strong, you know, and then something happens, it can really just knock us off our rocker. So as long as I have a strong foundation, I feel like I can handle whatever comes towards me. We have, look at this, discontentment and boredom. This is the Four of Cups. Two fours. Look at that. 44, 33, 44. I don't know why I got a cough. If you look at this person, it's like their back is to the world, you know, but here is the world. So discontentment and boredom. This feels like there's something coming in your life that's going to help you change. Um, you know, it's going to help you. Well, if I look at the Three of Cups, rejoice, right? It's going to give you a reason to rejoice, a reason to celebrate. But at the same breath, I feel like that's why I really got to pay attention. I got to have a clear mind so that as these signs start coming towards me, I can easily accept them. By the way, if you feel like, you know, you've received a sign from your guides, but you're not certain, ask them to send that sign again. They're happy to do that. Whoa, okay. Card's going a little crazy there. We have financial and material changes. It's the Five of Pentacles. Well, there we go. You know, I felt because the world was the very first energy to open up your reading, that there did feel like there was some type of change. And sometimes I feel like, you know what, I didn't ask for that change, or how can this change be better? Well, the Five of Pentacles is that tower moment. But in the same breath, you know, it's sitting right next to discontentment and boredom. So it feels like even though, listen, change is hard, and that's what a five talks about, change, right? But if we trust the process, let's say, or our guides, the signs, divine, it's going to lead us into a better place. Hopefully, leading you out of the energy of being discontent within your life, maybe within your job. You know, some of you, I feel like maybe you lost a job. And, you know, when you're in that energy, I've lost jobs where you think, oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, maybe some of you are now starting your own platform, starting your own business. And if that's the case, it's already saying that you're going to be successful in it. You know, it's taking the wisdom that you already have and using it for your benefit. Nine of Pentacles, the person who benefits from that energy is you. And that's really what it speaks of. Like you are the benefactor of your own hard work. So I feel like, first of all, I have to be willing. Um, and I feel like maybe you've been on a little shaky ground to start with. So this change, even though again it can be a little difficult, it is again giving you an opportunity to celebrate the 5 and the 3 and 8, a new beginning. Let's keep going. We have rest and rejuvenation. Look at the fours. 3 fours. We have patience and planning, the 7 of Pentacles. I feel like some of you may have had, or you may have like this dream, maybe owning your own business. And, sometimes it's hard to walk away from what is, or what we think is stability. But then we can't really control, like if I'm working for, big company, I can't really control, what they do. But what I can control is me and what I'm going to do. So I feel like, this change, it does feel like it takes a minute, like rest and rejuvenation. Um, that's the 4 swords. And not just, rest and rejuvenation, but the recognition above it. It's almost like a little bit of a time out to allow you to heal, right? To firm up that foundation again. Maybe turn around and start looking at the world again and what it offers. Accept the change, even if in the beginning it can be a little difficult. This is the 7 of Pentacles, and to me, the 7 of Pentacles is the energy of what was meant to be. I feel like, you can't see it in this card, but I often feel the 7 of Pentacles is your soul seed of intention. And it's something that your soul, you know, maybe had planned. I feel like it's our seeds. And they're on all, not all seeds are going to come at the same time, but that might be a little overwhelming. But one of these seeds is coming to fruition. And as I say that, I want you to remember that, at least this is what I believe, and I believe this through my own guides, that our soul planted some of these seeds before we even came into this lifetime. Now, and then we're born with amnesia, right? So we don't really remember that. But I feel like as the seed starts to reach, I have a feeling we're going to get the Ace of Pentacles somewhere. As the seed starts to, let's say, blossom, you start to recognize that, this is even bigger than me. We're in a universal year 7 too. And then remember, next year we're going into an 8 universal number, and that is about new beginnings. It's a new day. Beautiful. Positive movement forward. I mean, there we go. We have the 7 and then we have the 8. Positive movement forward. This is the 8 of Pentacles, and it's mirroring the 9 of Pentacles. And what's coming in between it? Discontentment and boredom. So it does feel like because of that, there is change. Again, doesn't mean that I asked for it, but I feel like maybe your soul did. You know what I mean? And I also feel like in the 8 of Pentacles, it's the energy of saying, be willing to go into something as the apprentice and know that, tell yourself that I will be the master teacher, but I need to start at the beginning. Some of you, you're already in this energy. You're already have been working on this platform. And I'm saying platform, that's because I want to leave it general. It can be many different things. It feels like your money sector is a big part of October for you. All right, let's keep going. But I love how we're in a universal year 7, and then it's talking about new beginnings for 2024, let's say. Some of you, I feel like you're just going to find yourself like starting a business, and man, I just feel like you're going to love it. Even though the 9 of Pentacles says, It doesn't mean it's easy. There's nothing here falling in your lap. This is you using your wisdom. This is you planning. The Seven of Pentacles talks about patience. I often feel like this is like my garden, and it's up to me to really nurture that garden. And if I do nurture that garden, I'm going to see these rewards. We have power. This is the strength card. Card of Leo. Two eights. Look at the number synchronicities. 33, 444, 88. And the reason why I give you numbers is because, first of all, I'm very interested in numerology. I'm really learning what the numbers mean. 5 talks about a change, but then you add the 5 and the 3 together, it's a new beginning. The 8 is a new beginning. This is the recognition that you can overcome these challenges. I mean, just look at this person's half man, half lion. And it's understanding that, right? Sometimes they can talk about dealing with one's own inner demons, but when you do, the power that you gain from that. Uh, Excuse me, temperance, divine timing. You know, what's it say? Patience. What's the Seven of Pentacles say? Patience. But not just patience, patience and planning. Maybe some of you, you're already thinking of doing something new, and maybe you do need to put a plan in place. I feel like whatever change is happening within the universe, it's only to help strengthen you, not to weaken you. Now, again, any tower, like in the Five of Pentacles, it feels like a tower moment, right? It feels like I'm being thrown out into the cold. But what I love about the Five of Pentacles, because it is temporary energy, right? That energy of feeling thrown onto the cold, it's temporary. It is the energy where I feel like I don't have the luxury of just sitting back, even though rest and rejuvenation is right next to it. I feel like I have to keep moving. But in the Five of Pentacles, I feel like what you're moving towards is really soulmate type energy. So, there may be partnerships and alliances. Um, you may find, just the right mentor to help move you forward. Temperance says, let go of control of the things that you just cannot control, right? Hand that over and instead trust in divine timing. Trust in what divine is trying to do in your life, even if it's speaking of change, right? But whatever is happening, wherever may have been like a tower type energy, healing here is available. I feel like my screen went dark again. I don't like that. All right, let's look at the bottom of the deck. Well, hello, fulfillment of wishes. This is the Nine of Cups. This is about inner harmony. And I find it interesting because, again, first of all, we have two nines here, both of them very good energy, fulfillment of wishes, material harvest. This is something that maybe you've been working on, or maybe you've just been trying to manifest it. The universe is saying, we got you. We're here. We want to help you. Passion ignited underneath that. That is the Ace of Wands. And then spiritual strength, another nine. The ability to overcome, And I love the image here because I feel like this is your spiritual team, like saying, we've got you, right? We're not going to let anything fall on you. You do your part, we'll do our part. And we do have the soulmates underneath that. Now, maybe we're not meant to see that yet. Maybe it's just not time for that yet. Doesn't mean it won't be time. But this, to me, feels like, first of all, I have to think about myself. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way. I mean that in I feel like if there's dreams that you've had that maybe have been put on the back burner, maybe you had no choice but to put them on the back burner. The universe is saying, okay, we're going to show you the way to really make these dreams come true. Temperance says, let go of control of exactly how something must show. And instead, pay attention to the signs because I feel like this is a very guided type reading, like you're being guided. But I definitely feel like you got to trust in yourself first and foremost. Be willing to enter something in as the apprentice. I feel like the Eight of Pentacles saying positive movement forward. I feel like, its message is if you're willing to focus upon it, you're going to grow it. Well, it has success connected to it. The only thing that could, let's say, limit that would be the Four of Cups. So maybe I just need to get myself back into the world again. That makes sense. All right, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot and let's go deeper. Patience. First of all, if I look at the four corners of your reading, we start with the world, the next chapter. In that next chapter, recognition and reward, patience and planning. It's like the planning we're now putting into action. And then temperance. It's just a reminder that divine, your spirit guides are very involved in your life. um, and just being willing to, follow those signs. And again, if you're not sure if it was a sign from your guides, ask them to send it again. Tell them I need it bigger. I need to know, and they will. All right. Start at the beginning, but we're reading it as a whole, if that makes sense. Look at that temperance again. So, kind of love that right over the universe. By the way, this is the card of Sagittarius. We do have double Sagittarius on the board. But, it is about letting go of, again, exactly how something must show. And understand that divine has a big part in this next chapter. Wow, I'll take that all day long. Hello, business owner, the Emperor. Part of Aries, but I feel like the emperor is the leader of the people. How does the emperor lead the people? Because the emperor has the experience, and I don't mean like book experience. I mean that I've been through it. I feel like who could be a better leader than someone who has been through the hardships, right? Someone who had to climb their way to the top. That is to me what the emperor represents. Some of you, I swear, you're opening your own business, whatever it may be. Or it could certainly be a promotion, recognition and reward, and then boom, it's like it moves you up a level, if not to the top. But I also feel like it's talking about business ownership, working for yourself. And I have to tell you, I've owned three businesses, this being my third. And I myself have a very hard time working for someone else now because I feel like, I had the wisdom to be successful. And why do I want to give that to someone else? I'm not saying like if you have a job, like you should hold back. That's not what I mean. I just mean like once you start to move into that type of energy and you really trust in yourself, I feel like success will naturally follow. All right, we have the Nine of Wands over the Three of Cups. We have Hello Knight of Cups, unexpected couple fulfillment. maybe someone else is recognizing you in an emotional way. This can certainly signify love. This is unexpected, but temperance here twice is saying there's nothing for you to worry about. You know, that's meant to find you will find you. And then the King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Now, beyond that, this talks about, I feel like the King of Cups is someone who, excuse me, this is talking about love for some of you. I often feel in my readings, it becomes very clear to me that love is not the only reason we're here, right? Especially if you have an 8 life path, because we do have 88 down here. Some of you may have an 8 life path, and an 8 life path really is here to master the material world. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But not in an egotistical way, like, I make money and I keep it for myself. No, I feel like it's like I master my material world, but then I give, I help give to those, especially with the emperor here. That's exactly what the emperor does. He's helping those, like the underdog, those who need a hand up, not a hand out, a hand up. Um, King Cups is someone who, in the upright, is, and I know some will disagree with me, and that's okay because we all have our own experiences. I've had the King of Cups and did not have a great time with that King of Cups, but, he's in the upright. So this is someone who normally is easily able to um, talk about their emotions, talk about the way they feel towards someone. This is someone who would prefer to be in a relationship, doesn't have to be in a relationship. And why would they prefer to be in a relationship? Because they like having that person. And I feel like we all do, like that person, something happens during your day, someone like who's the first person I call? Like that means a lot. Now, this king may be coming in again unexpectedly, just shows up, and it's, what are we going to do that from that moment moving on? Well, let's keep going. Let's find out. I get this feeling for some of you also. You may have lost, let's just say, a job. And I know I keep going back to that, but because you have the ability to really amp up your pentacles, moving forward, I feel like not just for October, we're moving from the universal year 7 into the universal year 8. And listen, I feel like that's why we want to deal with our demons right now, our inner demons, so that when this new beginning shows, and it doesn't have to mean your whole life is changing, though I feel like when one aspect changes, others follow. All right, let's look over the Four of Cups. Some of you may just feel like, oh, I don't feel my job. I don't feel stable. Like I'm worried about what may happen within my job. It's reminding me of like the auto workers and how they're on strike. Well, some, may find that, listen, maybe I'm not going to work for the big company anymore. Instead, I'm going to take my own wisdom, and I'm going to open up a body shop, or I'm going to open up a car dealership, or, I'm just using that for an example, though for some of you that may be the case. All right. Eight of Pentacles over discontentment and boredom. And then the Hangman. Interesting, because I feel like the Hangman coming over financial and material changes. It's almost The hangman is a pause in action. And I feel like, the hangman's seeking wisdom on my next steps. Because maybe I feel like there is going to be a change, and maybe I have no control over that. Well, right above it is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands talks about, first of all, nine is always about reflecting back, right? Looking back at, let's just say, the last chapter of your life. I feel like we run in 9 year cycles. So we look back at that chapter. And in that energy, I'm really looking, that's the time where there was a lot of responsibility. But really, what I'm figuring out in the Nine of Wands is who I've become. Like, not regretting the past because it's what made me who I am. And then it's being mirrored by the strength card down here. Again, I need to look at even my own responsibility within situations. Maybe I know that I'm discontent in my life, but I'm not doing anything about it. Eight of Pentacles again would be like, but do it. Take a chance. Take a chance on yourself. The Hangman, I feel like again, a pause in action. But I don't feel like it's long. And again, the hangman is seeking wisdom. Um, like send me signs on which direction I should move next. So let's see. Let's see exactly what comes next. By the way, excuse my fingernails. I have gel polish on and interesting. I was watching the Steeler game last night and I threw my terrible towel, and when I did, it just took off my nail polish. And I was going to redo it, but it takes so long. All right. Anyway, enough about that. So we're going to look. All right. Well, with the King of Wands, King of Action, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We do have Aries on the board. We do have Leo on the board. Well, we have Sagittarius on the board too. We have all of that. But beyond that, this is a King of Action. This is someone who, and coming over the Four of Swords, I feel like some of you have been in this healing period, but I feel like now it may be time to start moving out of that. Doesn't mean I'm always completely healed. There may still be like little broken pieces, but I'm healed enough where I can start thinking about my life again. Should I make a move? King of Wands would always say yes. King of Wands isn't someone who lives in a fear-based type of energy. I'm going to take a chance on me. Two kings mirroring each other, by the way. And then under the Knight of Cups comes this king. Keep going. Look at that, another seven. I just find the numbers so interesting. So now we have a 77. Pay attention to that because, sometimes you're looking for signs within a reading, but maybe you're born in 1977. That may signify that. Maybe someone who's coming towards you was born in 77 or 88, or has a master number 33. Maybe you have a master number 33. Some of you have a master number 8. And I feel like there's a few here who may have it. I'm saying a master number. I mean a life path number 8, or you're in a personal year number 8. And I hope you know what I'm talking about with that. If not, look that up. It has to do with your birthday. For your life path, it's your whole birthday, the month, the day you were born, and then the year. Your life or your personal year has to do with the day you were born, the month you were born, and then adding the universal year number to that. That'll let you know what your personal year number is. And I feel like it's very important that we know that. I feel like I've learned so much from numerology. Three of Pentacles, recognition and reward again. Um, I'm sorry, I didn't even talk about the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is, it talks about that I need to choose a cup. I guess you don't need to choose a cup, but I feel like maybe sometimes our hand is forced, so we do have to choose a cup. Seven of Cups can feel a little chaotic. Why? Well, because I've chosen some cups before and the cups didn't work out. Well, but I feel like you're in a different place now. Especially if, I feel like the world's recognizing you, divine is recognizing you. Now you need to recognize yourself, recognize your abilities. I feel like, why does my screen keep going dark? I'm going to get rid of this. Oh man, it seems darker now. All right, I don't know. Hello, Ten of Pentacles. Over the Strength card. Under the Hangman. We already have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like, a change happens. It may be outside of our control, but maybe if we look at it with a positive view instead of a negative view, and that may take a moment, no doubt, it may take a moment. I feel like this is moving you into abundance. I feel like some of you may be working from home, or you find yourself like down the road, you're working from home. Trust in your abilities. I feel like above all, trust in yourself and the wisdom you've gained through your experiences. I feel that divine uses our experiences to help us then help others. I often feel the emperor, when I feel him in the light, is someone who does think about the underdog, and how can I help another reach the status that I have? Or help another understand that there is a better way, a better path. This is saying you are the missing piece of the puzzle. The Three of Pentacles wants you to understand that there is something unique about you. And that uniqueness is exactly what's going to help you be successful. Three of Pentacles to me is also like putting my head down. And sometimes I'm not paying attention to what's going on around me because I'm busy, building up my pentacles. I'm busy being my unique self. No excuses. I love, first of all, power and then the Ten of Pentacles. How can I reach that Ten of Pentacles? I feel like your guides are showing you the way. All right, let's keep going. Look at that, the Strength card right over Patience. And then with that is the Seven of Swords. So interesting, we have two sevens mirroring each other now. One is the Seven of Cups, where, I have to choose a cup, but I'm a little nervous about choosing one of these cups. It's telling us why. Seven of Swords is, can be, well, deception and envy. Other people can be envy of what you know. And maybe they've tried to hold you back because of that. I feel like who's ever in the Seven of Swords, this is someone who takes more than they need, and probably has even taken like your own idea, especially as it relates to work and your wisdom and, your life experiences. It's almost like someone was trying to take that from you. Well, you got to know that, right? And not just know that, but because the strength card's coming out with that. And listen, that can be a very difficult energy. But and for some of you it can also be relating to love. Like, how do I choose a cup when every cup I've chosen ends up into some type of deception? Well, I feel like, first of all, if I'm working on my own foundation and I'm strengthening my own foundation, then it's very hard for someone come in and it's very hard for someone to come in and, if they have a deceptive type of energy, you're going to see it, you're going to know it, right? But I kind of understand why sobriety is here, right? The clearer your mind, the clearer the messages. Okay, let's go back and look at a few cards. I want to look at the Knight of Cups, and I want to know a little bit more about that. We have, interesting, the Queen of Cups with the King of Cups right here. Now, it doesn't matter your sign, but of course, for some of you, it's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But it doesn't matter beyond that because I feel like the Knight of Cups is saying I'm bringing in an unexpected couple fulfillment. It's someone who, because it's coming over the Three of Pentacles, it's someone who really can see your soul, can feel your soul. It's someone who definitely I feel like would look up to you, even if you've had a tough life, even if you've done things in your life that, maybe you're not, I don't know. What's the word I want to use? Well, let's just put it this way. We've all had situations in our life where we wish we could go back and change. But I feel like in the same breath, that's what's become your wisdom. So don't live with regret, right? This Knight of Cups, again, an unexpected cup of fulfillment. We need to remember that, an unexpected cup of fulfillment. We have fulfillment of wishes right here. So I feel like if this is relating to love, this is talking about like minded energy. But let's follow that queen. Let's follow her. She's looking towards the future. So I want to know a little bit more. Another queen, Queen of Swords. Well, that's you. I say that's you, but I feel like you're all people in a reading, unless I feel it differently. But that can certainly represent Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Interesting, these two queens are looking at each other. This could be two sides of yourself, also. Maybe you have shut love down for a little bit. And listen, I feel like if you did, maybe because you've been putting your energy in your finances, in your, what you do for a living. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because again, I feel like what I've learned is, um, you know, building our own or making sure our own foundation is strong is only going to help us as it relates to love. Because if I feel like my foundation is weak, then it's hard for me to be open and, you know, accept this couple fulfillment for all that the potential it brings. Queen of Swords. It's interesting. Her sword is pointing right up to the knight. Truth, but she's surrounded by white doves. To me, doves speak of love. I feel like the Queen of Swords, I feel like every queen and king has a specialty. This queen is about her communication. It may be something I've had to learn throughout my life, how to communicate better, how not to let my voice get shut down. And I don't mean in an aggressive way, but understanding that your voice is important. Queen of Cups, maybe the energy of like learning how to keep my heart open no matter what's happened. Doesn't mean I'm, just naively accepting any cup, but I am going to trust my intuition to see if this is good for me or not. I definitely feel it is, but you ultimately have to make that decision. I want to take one more or whatever wants to come out. I'm not quite done with that yet. We have the moon. Card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. The moon can speak of uncertainty. I don't know how far this can go, but maybe I'm only meant to, I'm meant to enjoy each and every moment. The moon can also be very dreamy type energy. And again, fulfillment of wishes over here. I feel like there is a dream that you have, and maybe more than one dream. Maybe it is speaking of love and your pentacles at the same time. Why wouldn't it be? That's life, right? So I feel like in the moon's energy, I'm keeping my dreams alive. I'm allowing that part of myself to be prevalent, even if I'm unsure of where something's going to go. And if that's the case, take it day by day, moment by moment. Some of you, though, it can certainly mean Cancer or a Pisces. I don't know. I feel like I want to take one more. Because it is the energy sometimes of uncertainty, I want more. Okay, Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands may be talking about a lesson that your soul wanted to learn. And in Ten of Wands, I feel like this is where I have the tendency of putting all the responsibility on my shoulders. Well, that's not good, right? And a lot of us do that, where we carry the weight of a relationship. We carry the weight of our job, and what we bring in our job. I feel like in the Ten of Wands, secretly, this person's wishing for a tower. It's like, I want this energy to end. So I feel like this Knight of Cups is coming in to help you end that, right? It's almost like someone comes in and, like, all the responsibilities on my shoulders. But then someone comes in and helps to end that chapter. That 10 wants to end. It's looking right back at the moon, like when, well, maybe as soon as you allow it. And again, this night is meant to fulfill you. Okay, let's pick that up. Keep that over there. And I want to come back to Temperance and the World, but also with the Emperor and the Nine of Pentacles in that. Tell us a little bit more about that. Five of Cups. First of all, Five of Cups is a five. Change. What does it want you to change in this energy? Well, in the Five of Cups, I'm focused on all I have lost. And when I keep myself in that type of energy, it seems like that's what keeps coming back to me. So this is saying, don't take on the victim mentality, even if we deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, or at least for long. Because what follows this? If I can change my focus and start thinking about all that can be, what is yet to be in the Five of Cups? Two of Cups. We already saw the Two of Cups. Dug way down there below, but it's there. And when I go back in my deck, I feel like I'm meant to. So I feel like we're meant to see those two cups, but maybe they just haven't arrived yet. And maybe that's what it's saying. Like, first, I have to change my focus. First, I got to realize how strong I've become. And it's like I'm not giving my power away anymore. Three of Cups. It's like the universe is celebrating you. Why? Because you were bold enough to make that change. There seems to be quite a few changes in your life between now and next year, but they all seem very positive. But I have to allow it, right? I have to accept it. And I also want to let go of control of exactly, again, how something must show. Okay, let's pick that up. And let's look at the hangman. See what kind of wisdom you're really seeking. I feel like there's some who are saying, God, give me the ability to make changes. Give me the ability not to look back and allow my past to affect my present or my future. Give me the ability to overcome, what feels like sometimes tower type moments and allow me to understand them. And sometimes it's allowing me to see that it's actually a blessing. But let's look. All right, we have Five of Wands. That makes sense. Five of Wands to me is where, it's battling type energy. In the Five of Wands type of energy, though, this is kind of where no one backs down. Like, no one's, like, if I'm expecting, maybe I'm expecting someone to change or something to change, but, or I'm expecting an apology, that type of thing. Chances are I'm not going to receive it in the Five of Wands because, again, no one seems to want to back down. And that may be why we have the Five of Pentacles. You know, they won't back down. How can I control that energy? Sometimes I simply have to leave it. I got to recognize that sometimes, the person that I'm waiting for an apology from doesn't really matter anyways, because I feel like so much is waiting, so much is waiting to manifest in your life. It's probably the same person who's in the Seven of Swords energy. But let's follow that a little bit more. And it's also connected to the Nine of Wands. So I do want to know my part within that Five of Wands. Who am I battling? Why am I battling? What kind of results is it giving me? Chances are not the results that you want. The Empress. She did show in reverse. I feel like the Empress is first of all, we have the Emperor and the Empress here. Showed in reverse, but I feel like even the Empress in reverse, you know, she still is a very creative type person. If I'm battling with someone over my abilities, this is the energy of trusting yourself, not others, right? If this is the energy of someone telling me you can't, you won't succeed, well, that's just not true. If you're willing to put the focus in on any part of your life, you're going to see the benefits of it. If you're willing, remember we saw the Five of Cups, not focus on what you've lost, but what is yet to be. The Empress is someone who keeps her heart open. And that may be why she came in reverse, because she's now coming under that Knight of Cups, unexpected cup of fulfillment. Could mean that some of you have like closed that part of yourselves down. And listen, it's your choice, right? But the Empress is a very powerful person. And how did she gain that power? Through her experiences, much like the Emperor, right? But the Emperor and the Empress, they're very different. But man, you put them together, they are the power couple. That's how I always see them. I feel like this is just saying like your creative house has been affected and maybe you're doubting that. Again, if I feel like that, if that's the case, it's because of what other people are telling you. And this means that you need to believe in yourself. I feel like also, if you want love in your life, then you've got to keep your heart open. Doesn't mean you have to move quickly. There's nothing wrong with taking something slow. Matter of fact, I feel like as it relates to love, usually that's the best way to take it, right? Giving someone the time to reveal who they truly are. That's what I do in my personal readings. Many times, someone is potentially falling in love with someone and they want to know, like, is this someone I can trust? And I feel like in a personal reading, it's very clear, like it comes out very clear because I'm only concentrating on that person. So, you know, I did put the Empress in the upright, but I do remember she's in reverse. And I feel like it is speaking about like you're closing down certain parts of yourself. Why? Because you're trying to protect yourself. You don't want a repeat pattern of what you've already had. You're tired of battling, you know. I'm tired of waiting for someone to like admit their part in something. Definitely some of you have dealt with untrustworthy energy, as most of us have. And it really has to be us who makes this decision of what am I going to do about that? Do I stay or do I go? So the Empress seems to be like on the fence, but I want to follow her. I guess I should put her back in reverse. Let's follow her just a little bit. And, I feel like in reverse, it's just that I'm not realizing my own powers. I'm not realizing that I'm a spiritual being that I really can overcome. Um, and again, I need to go back to sobriety. Maybe, I'm trying to overcome something, or maybe someone else is like, has a drinking problem and you feel like, I want to help them, I want to change them, but you realize you can't, right? They have to change that. They have to want that. Let's follow her. Let's see if we can get her turned around. Four of Pentacles. Now the Four of Pentacles is mirroring itself. I feel like, how can I turn the Empress around? By strengthening one's own foundation. The Four of Pentacles can also speak about like holding on too tightly to, the way something must be, or the way, again, maybe like here I am battling someone because I feel like I know the right way, but yet they don't make these changes. They do nothing about it. They don't apologize for their actions. And the Empress feels like, she's taken it on. Think about the Empress. She's someone who I feel like feels the weight of the world, like does take things on emotionally, but especially in reverse. Sometimes we just end up with the wrong person. And it could be a free will decision, or there's something our soul wanted to learn from this experience. And sometimes it's simply what we want to learn is our own power. And I often feel like when it's that type of situation, down the road, we look back and we're like, thank God I made these changes. Thank God I left this situation or this person who just kept feeding me bull crap anyway. I feel like the Four of Pentacles with Temperance is just saying, again, maybe I'm putting too much attention and effort on one person and their words, or, again, I feel like someone's just telling you, like, you can't, you won't be successful. But Divine is telling you quite the opposite. All right, I want to take one more. And again, excuse me, we're looking at the Knight of Cups. You may find someone comes into your world, and again, you don't expect it. But someone comes into your world and you find that they're very open and loving. Where before you're dealing with someone who's very closed minded, my way or the highway type of energy. So it may take a moment to understand that not everyone is like that. They may sing your praises, and, the person in the Knight of Cups, and that may be hard to take because, again, I've been told that I wasn't good enough. Well, that was bullcrap. Excuse my language. Look at this, the Three Swords, but in reverse. Prior heartache. Prior swords in your heart. No way. It cannot be related to the Seven of Swords. No way. That didn't make sense. It definitely has to be related to the Seven of Swords. So again, people who are untrustworthy anyway, people who wouldn't back down from their way, and it kept landing in your heart, right? You're the one who kept taking on the pain of it. The Three of Swords is saying, turn that around. By the way, 2 threes right here, both of them in reverse. And then the Three Swords is pointing to the Strength card. So the ability to overcome even the toughest of situations. Sometimes we got to know when to leave them. All right. I get that. I feel like it's just saying, try to keep your heart open. Don't allow other people's opinions of what they think you can or cannot do become your reality. Because your spiritual team is telling you the opposite. All right, I'm going to come right down to the Seven of Swords. And by the way, I feel like Divine is dealing with them. Maybe unbeknownst to you, but I feel like Divine sees this energy. This can also be envy. So someone who's envious of your abilities. So what do? They tell you, oh, you can't do something, but it's because they're envy that they wish that they had what you have. But yet they want to take the easy way out. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. To me, that usually means money. Well, all right. So, quite a message wanted to come out with there. Six of Swords. Yeah. Six of Swords. You have to go back one card to the Five of Swords. Because they want you to look at what has become toxic in your life. Who has become toxic in your life? It's saying if I'm expecting a change from someone who carries that Seven of Swords energy, don't. Don't wait around. Don't give them the time of day. Let them live the way they want to live with another, but don't let it be you. Look at that, the Eight of Swords, self-created prison. The Hierophant, that's the card of Taurus. But this is about your belief system. Interesting that it's coming right next to the Eight of Swords, blindfold, in that Eight of Swords. That self-created prison, I created it because I want to protect myself. Divine is saying, but that is not the way to protect yourself, right? You need to be very present-minded to really see, and you need to be honest with yourself, right? If I feel like someone who's been untrustworthy is going to change, I don't feel like it's going to happen. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but it's certainly not showing in that light. Hierophant asks you to ask yourself, because it is a 5. Are whose belief system have you taken on? This is about being very honest with yourself. Two of Swords. Almost blocking an opportunity in the Two of Swords. Again, there's that blindfold. Queen of Wands. Queen of Action. Queen of Pentacles. I think we have all the queens out. And then last but not least, the Ten of Swords. So we are looking at this Seven of Swords. If I'm expecting it to change, if I'm expecting someone to change or a situation to change that has been not fair to you, Ten of Swords is giving you your answer. This can become a repeat pattern. Maybe I have given someone a chance over and over and over again. So I have to recognize that, right? Because who's taking the swords? You, in your back. But in this energy, I've become submissive to it. Why? Because I created this prison for myself. Why? Because there's something I just don't want to face. And what could that be? Well, it may just be that I'm afraid to change. Will I be successful? Well, your guides are saying yes, 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 yes. If you focus on that, focus on yourself and don't focus on that person or that situation. Take the blindfolds off, be honest with yourself, right? Because again, I feel like if I'm expecting a change, much like that Five of Wands, if I'm expecting someone to apologize, even if I'm expecting someone to be honest, but they're never honest, well, it's just going to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Look at that, the Seven of Swords again. So, I mean, let's just be real. There is no change with this person. I feel like, first of all, the Queen of Pentacles can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But I feel like the Queen of Pentacles, her ability is to see the truth. Her ability is to read between the lines of what other people are telling me, saying to me. Like, if I don't have a blindfold on, I can very quickly tell if you're being honest or dishonest. And the Queen of Wands is the Queen of Action. She's not someone who's going to sit there and think about it for long. And again, I feel like you're all people. Now, for some of you, I do know, like, I feel like, we have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. This can talk about this Knight of Cups that, again, is coming in unexpectedly. It's a like-minded energy. Two of Swords can be blocking that opportunity. And if I'm expecting, again, someone to make that change, it's not going to happen. At least I don't see it happening. I see it happen. I feel like their dishonesty will just happen again. What they're taking from you, they're going to keep taking. And I'm going to keep taking. Why, and in their head, they're probably like, I can't believe they keep allowing me to do this. I can't believe they haven't left me yet. Well, I feel like now you see it. Now you see it. Okay. I feel like that's very clear. Let's pick that up. And I want to look at the Emperor over the Nine of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles doubled here. And then also the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like your guides are saying you need to recognize that unique part of yourself. Don't listen to those who are telling you falsehoods, who are telling you that you're not capable. You are capable. Believe me, believe your spirit guides. Don't believe these people who are takers, right? That's all they do is take and take and take. So, let's look. Hello, world. And then look at this, the sun. It's a brand new day when the sun shows up. First of all, when the sun shows up, anything that was done in the dark will come to the light. So again, that Seven of Swords is going to be very clear. This is also taking, allowing yourself to live from your inner child energy. And what does that mean? It means you're allowing yourself to be unencumbered, free. The world, illumination of your path moving forward. If you allow it, if those blindfolds come off. This feels very, very good, guys. I feel like some of you are just meant to work for yourself. Some of you are meant to create your own business. Or again, some of you, this is about a promotion. And again, someone may have been like trying to like steal your ideas. If if it's not love for you, and it can be both. Like it can be someone I work with that like literally steals my ideas. It can be a boss. Like I go and tell my boss, like, oh, I had a great idea, and then they shut it down, but then you find out down the road that they used your ideas as their own. Wow. I feel like that's no. Like just no. Like as soon as I find out, I feel like, you know what? I'm leaving this company. I'm going to do better than you. I'm going to build bigger and better than you. I'm going to put you in your place. But I'm not doing it in an envious type of way, or that's not the right word. I'm not doing it to like pay someone back. This is just you believing in you. I feel like you're just not taking any more crap. All right. Let's come down to the 10 of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles speaks about an abundant household. It's a house where you can truly set down roots. Some of you I know is talking about working from home and creating that abundance for yourself. But I often feel in the 10 of Pentacles, you're not alone. So tell me more, tell me more. 7 of Wands. Interesting, because I feel like this is you now helping to defend others. It's like you're helping to defend those who have gone through the same type of situations you have gone through. 7 of Wands is the energy of standing your ground, but I don't, and yes, I do feel like that's part of it. Maybe I am standing my ground and I am leaving that job or I am leaving that person. But then I feel like you're in some way using that wisdom that you've gained and now you're helping others. I often feel like I'm an attorney in the 7 of Wands energy, or I'm in social work. Now, you don't have to be. You could be a spirit warrior. You know what I mean? Where'd it go? Okay, card fell, but I cannot see it. Literally. Oh, it's stuck behind my chair. Almost like it did not want me to see it. Look at this, the Lovers. I told you weren't in the 10 of Pentacles yourself. First of all, this is the card of Gemini. The meaning of the card is a head over heart decision. I feel like by the time you get to this 10 of Pentacles, you've already made that decision. I've seen this card quite a few times for October, and which, why wouldn't I? Because, I feel like different signs are coming together. Remember back in January, I said I felt like a lot of soulmates were coming together. Well, we do have spiritual union. Spiritual union. With the Ace of Wands following that. So sometimes I feel like I don't even know it's coming together. Knight of Cups says that, be willing to accept the unexpected. And then the Lovers. So this is not just about your money. This is also about love. And I love the Lovers in the 10 of Pentacles. Because I feel like where your foundation has been shaky, everything is changing. It's like divine is sending you signs so that you can have the strongest of foundations. And the experiences that you have gone through, you're helping others. And that, I feel like, is the reason many of us are here. Some of us have had difficult lives, but then we turn around and we learn the lessons from those difficulties, and then we help others not to have to repeat what we went through. Remember that Seven of Swords had the ten of Swords over it. So if I'm expecting someone to change in that energy, it's just not going to happen. But the universe is saying, but we're open up the next chapter. And that Seven of Swords has no place in this next chapter. That Ten of Pentacles is all about your foundation. First, there were some demons you needed to look at. There were some blindfolds you have to take off. You know what I mean? You have to be truthful and honest with yourself. Even if it's hard, right? You need to be willing to make changes sometimes. And I know change is hard. Trust me, I know. But there's a lot of things I look back at my life now and I'm like, thank God. Thank God these towers showed up when they did. It reminds me also of a situation. I'm just going to say it really quickly. This was way back when I was in my early 20s or mid 20s, where I ended up with someone who, it's so funny because I met this person who I was out at a bar with my girlfriends, and I just thought this guy was the best looking guy, and this is not normally me, but I ended up going up to him and asking him to dance. And then I ended up in a relationship with him. And I have to say, for the first year, like, I didn't notice these things at the time, but slowly but surely started moving. Like, I remember I had a small TV and he moved in. He's like, oh, let me bring my TV in. And it was a bigger TV. And then next thing I know, he's moving his clothes in. And next thing I know, you know what I mean? It's like slowly he was taking over my life, but I didn't see, I thought it was a blessing. And then he became very, very abusive, and it didn't stop. As soon as he showed his true self, my world became hell. And I stayed in that relationship for 5 years. Why did I stay so long? Right? And then now that I look back, it's like I was waiting for someone to come in to save me. Many of you know the story. I called my mother and I told my mother, like, Mom, you have to help me. Can I move back home? And she said no. She's like, you made your bed, now lie in it. And I was like, oh my God. So I thought, I'm stuck here. But then one day I decided, I mean, it was bad. It was very bad. Like, I really feel like this guy would have ended up taking my life had I stayed any longer. So I packed up my bags and I packed up my kids and we jumped on a bus and I went home and I knocked on my mom's door and I said, I don't have a choice. And she ended up welcoming me with open arms at that point, which was very strange. And then my whole life changed. So who was my savior? I was my savior. I saved myself. But it took me time. And maybe that's why I'm telling this story. Maybe some of you are in that situation and you have to understand that sometimes you got to save yourself. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is this Knight of Cups wants to bring you in a cup of fulfillment. I hope you accept it. I know that this is saying for those who are trying to get through situations and maybe you're using some type of substance to help you get through it. That may not be the way, because I feel like your team, your spiritual team, is trying to help you really manifest such a better life for yourself, career wise, money wise, and love wise. What you gonna do? The world showing with the sun over the emperor, Also, over the Nine of Pentacles, to me, the sun is a brand new day. And I feel like there's nothing to fear when the sun comes out, because if there's anybody who comes towards me who is untrustworthy and I've taken those blindfolds off, I'm going to see it. I'm going to know it. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it before it even can affect me. So your wisdom is everything. And I do feel like some of you, you're now helping others, or you will be helping others, in some fashion to not have to go through something that you've gone through. And that's a blessing. All right, I think I'm going to leave it there. But I do want to read Mother Mary. Sobriety. Right next to signs. Interesting. Right next to signs in the book. Mother Mary supports your intention to have a chemical-free lifestyle. She can guide your detoxification process and support you in choosing sobriety one day at a time. A clear and sober mind is better able to concentrate during meditation and prayer in the same way that a sober driver can better steer an automobile in a straight line. Your prayers for help in this regard can also reduce or even eliminate cravings for an unhealthful substance so that sobriety is a pleasant and peaceful choice. Mother Mary's love will give you the feeling of comfort, bliss, and love that you once sought through substances. Now, I don't feel like that is for everyone, but I do feel like what it's saying is, I feel like it's really talking about the blindfolds, where I'm not being truthful with myself and I need to be. And I feel like it's like once those blindfolds come off, I mean, come on, the sun starts shining. It is a brand new day. Some of you are true leaders. You may not feel like it. You may have been told otherwise, but your spirit guides are telling you the opposite. Use your wisdom and watch how you flourish. Don't close down your heart due to other people, because I feel like the right people will come in at the right time. And by the way, I have to tell you, that story I just told you about myself, um, it wasn't too long. And I even told myself, that's it. I am not going to get in a relationship. I can't trust myself. Like, how did I? Because I was married right before then. I married the wrong person. You know what I mean? Like, I married the reversal of the King of Cups. Though I had two beautiful children. But other than that, he was a terrible husband. Get out of that relationship, and then I end up with someone who's very, very abusive. Well, if I think about where my energy was then, where it was then, I wasn't feeling good about myself, right? I just wasn't feeling good about myself. But once I left that, moved back with my mom, and started rebuilding my life, the right person came into my life. Now I'm no longer with that person, but we were together for 25 years, and now I'm with truly the love of my life. But that person helped me to truly become, I don't even know the word to use, and I am. Like, like I knew it was meant to be. Now, doesn't always mean it's meant to be forever. You know what I mean? But I felt the blessing in that. I just trusted in that. Um, and that was 25 years that we were together. And we're still friends. You know what I mean? Like, so, anyways, here I am using my experiences, hopefully to help you. I feel like the soulmates, it didn't come out, but we did see it. And I feel like this is talking about that, as it relates to love, like the right person. And with the right energy, I feel like it's also saying that you can truly create that house of abundance, that house of stability, and have real love in it at the same time. It might be night and day, but the sun is going to help illuminate your way. Divine's going to help. Again, keep that mind open. Take off those blindfolds and trust in your guides that they're going to help guide you. All right, I'm going to let that be. I love you guys. Again, don't forget about Wednesday. If you're interested, and you may not be interested at all. Um, I think I'll put a post out today. So, if you're not a subscriber, you won't see it. So, I'm not telling you to subscribe. Subscribe only if you want to. But if you do, or you're already a subscriber, make sure you hit that bell because I don't want you to miss it. And because that's how I send the link through the community section. And I feel like the only way you'll get the link is with that bell hit. So, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This was a little bit of a difficult reading, but I feel like it's just your life is changing. And we got to understand that we do go through cycles. Maybe some of us have been through a very difficult cycle. And this is saying, well, the ability to change that is now showing itself. But we have to be bold within our own lives also. Be honest and keep that heart open. Use your wisdom to determine and use your intuition to determine what is good, what is trustworthy, what is not. And then don't second guess it. All right, guys, I love you. I thank you. And I'll either see you on Wednesday or I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.